Ahoj, tady Petra a podcast Filmová 174. Dnešní nálož rozhovoru má na svědomí Gert, který si v rámci 63. Zlín film festivalu povídal s mnoha filmaři. Tentokrát si můžete poslechnout, co všechno se dozvěděl od režiséra filmu Případ Tesla.
Ahoy! Welcome again to the Zlín Film Festival bubble, where we every day welcome some of the most interesting, most bubbly, most sparkling festival guests. And today we have with us the director of the Tesla case. His name is Andrey Hadjivasilev.
Correct.
He's coming from Bulgaria. And we're so happy that he's the one who can be the boy in the bubble today, the boy who can share with us everything that has to be said about his film. And maybe the first thing that needs to be said is, what is the film all about? Andrej, can you tell us in 5 sentences?
Of course, it's like in Czech it's Případ Tesla, and it's a film about one boy who dreams to be a scientist one day. He dreams right now to complete the wireless electricity experiment of Nikola Tesla. So this is about film for adventure, for science also, not about cars. And this is one of my points to teach the children that Nikola Tesla is a very successful, very famous scientist. And of course, we have a lot of more interesting storylines inside. We have a lot of kids gathering at the mountain. It's about one scouts camp, and we have a little bit of first of love pangs. We have a mysterious werewolf in the forest, so a lot of adventures inside.
A lot of adventures, but no cars.
No cars.
The
no
Czech
cars,
audience
no
will be
phones.
so disappointed, because we were ready to tell him that the Tesla case was something like the Fast and the Furious edition 12, the electric car invasion, but it's not.
Unfortunately not. No Skoda inside.
And still you consider it like a good film without Skoda.
Of course, because this is my second feature film for children. They're plot related. I had the Curie case 4 years ago. It was a television film, and now this one, the Tesla case, is in the cinema. And the both are connected by the same character, but they're independent. So everybody can watch the both of them. And for me, showing the scientists, the science topic by positive way, it's very important, because I think in the most of the films, when science involved, most of the time we need the main character is like the crazy scientist, and it's not always like this. And I want to inspire children that dreaming to be a scientist one day, it's something good and interesting.
Mm-hmm. Science is serious business, but at the same time it can also be fun. It means also that the scientific elements in your film, you remember this B-movies from the 50s about crazy science fiction experiments, and they were talking this mumbo-jumbo all the time with secret formulas with a lot of X and Y and Q, and none of it made sense, but the things that you tell more or less make sense, because it's about a very specific scientific survey that the boy is going to do.
Exactly, and the Tesla case, it's an adventure film. It's like we have science, but it's like not educational film, but still showing the science in very interesting way, with all this electricity, visual effects, and so the dream of Nikola Tesla was to all people worldwide to have free electricity, wireless everywhere. So why not some of the Czech audience from today, it was my first screening today in Zlín Film Festival, to be inspired and to finish this dream of Tesla.
So you had your first screening. If it was Tesla's dream, then maybe Thomas Batja's dream was free shoes for everybody on the planet. What was your impression of Zlín? How were you welcomed in the festival? How was the screening going?
It's very nice. I'm here for the first time at the Zlín and the Zlín Film Festival, but 10 years ago I was in FAMU in Prague, so I'm very related with Czech Republic and Czech people. It was very interesting experience to be in the cinema with the Czech kids because their reactions was quite different than the Bulgarian ones. They had funny moments of different part of the film than the Bulgarian. So it was very interesting. I have very nice and very long Q&A. So this means I started and pointed a lot of questions for them in their mind. So it's good.
The film doesn't give you the impression that there was a lot of studio work involved. It gives you the impression that you and your actors and your crew were going on a summer camp with outdoor activities for months, for a whole summer long, who knows? Was it really like that? Did you really spend all this time outside in the forest with your young actors?
Yeah, it's true. It was a very nice experience for both of us, the film crew and the children, because it was still during the COVID and it was like first live activity for everybody. We spent more than a month at the Vituša mountain. It's like next to Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria. And half of the children are actors or not real actors, but they were casted by me in Sofia, and the rest of the children came from Varna and Shumen. These are very far cities from Bulgaria, and they're real Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, and they mix actually. They had their real camp, summer camp, during our filming. So we have the decor of our tents for the film in front of the space we are filming, and behind the trees we have one more camp, and these boys and girls that are real scouts living there for 2 weeks.
You already mentioned the word Bulgaria several times. What I think is that for making a children's film in Bulgaria, you need determination, a lot of determination, because that's how we know you. Very determined to reach your goals, and since nobody before you for many, many years, I think, made a children's film in Bulgaria, I think you needed to use all the determination that you had.
Yes, it's pity because Bulgaria had very good traditions of making children films. Maybe this is the reason why I am film director nowadays. And in the past 10 years, unfortunately, we don't have any real children film, but now with Tesla case and the Curie case before, I'm trying to revive this tradition to engage children audience, to educate them with love to cinema, because if we don't provide children films now, so it will be very normal that they will not engage with adult films when they grow up 10 years later. So it's a problem in Europe, not only in Bulgaria.
Yeah, but that's why I wanted to ask, here in this festival, you met a lot of colleague directors, a lot of like-minded souls who came to present their films here. Do you see a similar determination in all the people here?
In some of them, yes. In other, it was like their first children film, and it was like by accident. But this doesn't matter. So it's good that we have so many films here in Zlín, and there a lot of them are from Europe. So this is like the good direction. So I think not only me in Bulgaria, but people are starting to think that we forget about the children audience a little bit. But now they're like people like me that will fight about it. And of course there are also not only cinema, film education. So we need to do a lot for the children, because this is how supposed to have adult major audience in the cinema. And if we don't do it, we can blame nobody why everybody prefer American film, for example.
We can only blame ourselves. You already spoke about it. You already mentioned the magical words Thomas Batya, which is of course the basics of everything that happens here in Zlín, and that's why we ask all the guests in our film, in our studio, the same last question. What's your relationship with shoes? Can you show us the shoes you're wearing? Can you put your feet on the table and tell us something about
my
this
shoes?
particular part of shoes?
They're not Bata, unfortunately, but I bought them specially for the festival because I need to have something like not so strong officially, but to be nice looking and to be flexible for walking, because during the Zlín there is like a lot of screenings, a lot of outdoor activities. And
so this is what you bought especially for the festival?
Yeah, they're brand new.
And did you discuss to have them paid back by the festival?
Not really, but this is a good idea.
And we can put that on
maybe
the
I can get one free butter in exchange.
Exactly, and that's how we get back to the idea of free shoes for everybody. Thank you for sharing your shoes with us and for being in our studio. Just like the West Ham fans, we will be forever blowing bubbles in our festival bubble. Thank you so much for being here with us, Andrej, and I hope you'll enjoy the rest of your stay in Zlín.
Thank you.
Další film a další host. Tentokrát si Gert bude povídat s herečkou Elina Patrakka, která do Zlína přijela se snímkem Psí detektiv Roy.
Ahoy! Welcome again to the Zlín Film Festival bubble. It was Diana Ross who once said, I want bubbles. And so, Diana, here's to you. This is what we offer you. In today's festival bubble, we have Elina Patrakka, who came here all the way from Finland with a great film called Roy. And I think, Elina, it's up to you to tell us what this film was about.
So it's basically about a girl who finds a dog on a train track, and then afterwards they become very, very good friends. And then the dad of this girl doesn't want this dog, obviously, because she just found it on a train track, and the girl wants to keep the dog, obviously, and also tells about a crime that then the dog and the girl finds friends actually as well.
Because that's what I wanted to mention. It's not only about the dog and the girl becoming friends, but also at the moment she even says, you're my only friend, because she's new in town and the kids around her are not exactly very friendly. They're actually super cruel to her.
Yeah, because the girl who, like, I'm acting comes from, like...
What's her name?
In, like, Finnish, it's Valo, at least. And she comes from, like, Helsinki, and then she goes to, like, a very, very small town, and then she doesn't have any friends and comes to a new school.
What I really liked about this character is when the first time that she meets the dog, she sets him free because he got stuck on a trail track, and then she gives the option to the dog. She says, you can choose to follow me, or you can choose to run out in the woods and be free. And that's, I think, a typical thing for Vala. That's how I pronounce her name?
Valo.
Valo.
Yeah.
So tell a little bit more about who is this girl. I thought that was a really nice thing to do of her, to give the choice to the dog. But is it typical for Valo? What kind of girl is she?
She's very suspicious as well, and, like, if she wants to do something, she will do it, and she loves to, wants to, like, be like a detective, and also is very independent, because, and she doesn't have a lot of friends.
Of course, I have no other option than asking you about it. How was the connection between you and the dog?
First of all, it was very difficult, because there was this this man who was, like, with the dog at first, and it was, like, the owner, and it was very, very hard. We had a lot of, like, practicing and rehearsals, like, before we started filming, but at the end it went very well. And
are you a dog person?
I love all animals. I love dogs as well.
Because the way you fit together on screen is so beautiful. It's like you were born for each other. And it's also how the camera frames you. But this big dog, a German Shepherd, you just told me. And then this, not little girl, but fragile girl sitting next to it. It's such a beautiful picture. So it felt good to be on set all the time with your hairy friend.
It was amazing, and it was a new experience because I've never, like, acted with any animal usually, and it was very different from acting with, like, a person, but it was very interesting and very fun.
But you have been acting before?
Yeah.
But never with animals.
No. Maybe I've had like a dog, but I've never like, yeah. Been, like,
Another important character in the film is your dad, who's not a very stable figure. I mean, he's a little bit lost in life when we meet him. How is the relationship between Valo and her father?
They still have a good like connection, but obviously the girl, it's a bit weird that the girl finds just a dog on a train track, but the connection with like the dad and the because the girl is a teenager, obviously, and they have fights because she's a teenager and is like growing up.
Yeah, but also the father is still growing up a bit, I think, because he's a little bit lost after a divorce.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that all the kids in the film have not so easy relationships with their parents. Like there's this little neighbor boy, Petrus.
Yeah.
His mom is taking care of him all alone. Then Valo often helps her. There's kids in the class in her class who also have problematic relationships with their sometimes crazy parents, like the artist. Mm-hmm. Is it a typical thing that all kids in the movie have a problematic relationship with their parents?
Actually, I've never thought about that, but I can see it now that there is like some problems with families, but maybe it shows that like even though you have problems, this life can still be like amazing.
It is a young audience film, I would even say a children's film, but the tone is not so light. It's a bit dark, it's a bit grim. It's in the music, it's in the dialogue, it's in the camera. And there is a crime story. Sometimes it looks a little bit like a Nordic noir, which is the detective series that were often produced in Sweden and Denmark, and it's all a little bit dark and gloomy. Did you realize it was going to be like that? It's not a fun and happy-go-lucky children's film.
When I read it like first before we started filming, I was thinking it was kind of like a kid's film. But now when I saw it, it actually like it showed how it was like very like dark and like it was like there was actual crimes and it talked about like divorces and like everything, like very interesting.
Still, it's an exciting story. Let's not get that point wrong. It's a super exciting story, but with a little bit of a darker background. And then there is the whole crime scene. It looked also pretty mature. I mean, the first time you see these guys, they look horrible. They wear these masks. Do you know who designed these masks or where they come from or what impression they make? They really are... If I was a little kid, I would be super scared when seeing them on screen.
Yeah, I never saw that scene like before where they had those masks on. When I saw it, I was like, oh, that's like this is scary, and like they're making this movie actually like.
Do you know what happened with the dog after the film was shot? He went back to his owner, I suppose. But was he involved in some of the promotion? Did you ever see him again?
Yeah, actually, I saw him, I think, like once or something, because they live in Kuopio, and it's like many, many hours from my house. So, but we once went there, and then we saw.
And he still recognized you?
Yeah, I think so.
You only arrived yesterday evening in Zlín?
Yeah.
How has it been so far? What have you been doing?
It's been actually amazing, and like, I love it because like the festival is like all around the city, and everywhere I go, I just sing like Zlín Film Festival, and it's been very nice.
And then tomorrow, after your first screening in the festival, it will be the other way around. Everywhere you go, people will say, "Oh, that's the girl with the with the German Shepherd." Do you know something about Zlín? Did they tell you what Zlín is so famous for besides the festival?
No.
Shoes. Because the whole city of Zlín was built for the shoe factory of Thomas Batya. So Batya shoes is like it's everywhere in Zlín, and that's why everyone who comes to our studio, we ask them to show us their shoes, like put their feet on the table and tell us a story like, why are you wearing these shoes? What's the story behind your shoes or behind you and shoes in general?
I have 4 sisters, and I'm like the second youngest, so usually all of my shoes come from my big sisters, but these were actually like bought for me. But
You usually have to wear your sister's
old shoes, yeah.
old shoes. That sounds like you are really happy to come to Zlín and finally have your own shoes.
Yeah. I'm probably buying some new from here.
Good. It feels like a privilege to have you here with your own private shoes, and they look great on you, so please be comfortable. I hope you will enjoy the rest of your stay here in the festival. I hope you'll have a great screening, and I hope the whole town will come to see this amazing film about you and your great hairy friend. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Have a good time, and happy to meet all the people out there in our Zlín bubble.
Pro dnešek končíme, tedy minimálně s filmovou 174, ale sledovat nás můžete na Spotify nebo dalších podcastových platformách. Stačí, když nám dáte odběr. Já jsem Petra Pivková a tohle je podcast Filmová 174.